strange how we attach ourselves emotionally to our favorite TV characters. We know they are fictional. We know they are just the brainchild of a scriptwriter. We know that an on-screen death is often no more than a consequence of a contractual disagreement between a producer and an actor. Yet it leaves us shell-shocked, lost for words and seeking to regather our emotions. Let's count down our top 20 most shocking TV deaths of all time. Susan Ross, Seinfeld. After multiple breakups with George and the brief lesbian period, Susan Ross said yes to George's on-a-whim marriage proposal in season 7 of Seinfeld. Their engagement lasted over the course of the season until the cheap glue on their wedding invitations poisoned Susan. She is pronounced dead at the hospital. George moves on almost instantly.
Gone. Dead?
I'm so sorry, George.
Yeah, me too.
Lawrence KUTNER, House. When actor Kal Penn accepted a job at the White House, the House writers were stuck. Dr. KUTNER's suicide was never exactly explained, leaving many viewers unsatisfied. However, Penn did return in later seasons as KUTNER as part of Dr. House's hallucinations. Jon Snow, Game of Thrones. Well, what can you even say? Tricked into a trap after Alliser Thorne told him there was a wildling who had info on the long-ago disappeared Uncle Benjen Stark. Jon Snow was killed by his own men, Julius Caesar style, who played Brutus. Ollie, that seemingly sweet boy. Finn Hudson, GLEE. Actor Corey Monteith, who struggled with drug problems for much of his life, died on July 13, 2013, due to a toxic combination of heroin and alcohol. Finn's death was revealed in Season 5, Episode 3 of GLEE. The episode did not give a reason for Finn's death, rather it served as more of a tribute episode to Finn and to Monteith. OBERYN Martell, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has its fair share of graphic, shocking death scenes, but this one takes the cake. While fighting as Tyrine's champion, OBERYN the Viper goes head-to-head with Gregor Clegane the Mountain. Unfortunately for OBERYN, the Inigo Montoya routine is his ultimate downfall. He had the battle won, but the mountain rose up and, well, the results weren't pretty.
Who gave you the order?
Rita Morgan, Dexter. Rita Morgan, formerly Rita Bennett, ultimately became the Trinity Killer's final murder victim in Season 4 Dexter. Dexter finds her in a blood-filled bathtub, an allusion to the murder of Dexter's mother, when he and his brother were left at the scene, sitting in a pool of blood.
Won't you spare me over another?
Maude Flanders, The Simpsons. In Season 11 of The Simpsons, Christian homemaker Maude Flanders falls to her death after being knocked off the grandstand at Springfield Speedway by a t-shirt cannon. The shirts were aimed at Homer, but he ducked at just the right moment and Maude went over. Maude's ghost returns multiple times in later episodes, as well.
Ooh, a bobby pin!
Maude?
Oh my lord, she's...
Lucy Knight, ER. When a man with schizophrenia checks into the emergency room on ER, Lucy suspects he might have mental issues. Carter doesn't agree and refuses to send him to the psych department. However, Lucy was right, something she and Carter learn the hard way when the man finds a knife and stabs them both. George O'Malley, Grey's Anatomy. On Grey's Anatomy, Dr. George O'Malley is preparing to leave the hospital to join the army when he is brought in as John Doe after a serious bus accident. O'Malley reveals himself to Meredith. but she and the other doctors are unable to save him. Hank Schrader, Breaking Bad. On Breaking Bad, DEA agent Hank Schrader finally arrested his brother-in-law, Walter White, and all seemed to be going as planned. But things took a turn quickly when Jack and Todd arrived. Despite being called off by Walt, Hank refuses to beg for his life, knowing that Jack has already decided to kill him, and Walt gets away yet again.
My name is Asax Schrader. You can go fuck yourself.
Jin Soo-kwon, Lost. Jin and Sun had their ups and downs during the course of Lost, but ended on about as bittersweet a note as possible. When the submarine explodes, Sun is trapped and unable to escape. Rather than saving himself, Jin decides to stay with his wife, keeping the promise he made to her that they would never part.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
Mark Sloan, Grey's Anatomy. After Dr. Mark Sloan sustained serious injuries during the plane crash at the end of Season 8 of Grey's Anatomy, he was put on life support. In the 9th season premiere, the machines are turned off, in accordance with his will, and both viewers and the cast mourn the death of McSteamy. Charlie Pace, Lost. Desmond spent much of Season 3 of Lost foretelling Charlie's death, and in the season finale, his visions came true. Charlie ultimately drowns in the Looking Glass station, after turning off the station's signal jammer and confirming to Desmond that it was not Penny's boat. Mark Green, ER. Dr. Mark Green was the only original ER character to die. Diagnosed with brain cancer, he underwent multiple treatments and operations before deciding to accept his fate. He takes a final trip to Hawaii with his daughter, Rachel. They are later joined by his wife, Elizabeth, before he ultimately passes away. Edith Bunker, All in the Family. One of TV's most famous moms, Archie's loving wife Edith Bunker died of a stroke in the months before the 2nd season premiere of All in the Family spin-off series, Archie Bunker's Place. Edith's death was hard on Archie, who always thought he would die before her. Dan Connor, Roseanne. After the Connor family wins the lottery on Roseanne, it is revealed that Dan didn't survive his heart attack after all and, in fact, died at Darlene's wedding. Roseanne reveals that the series had been a rewriting of her life by Roseanne Connor, who created the false reality as a coping mechanism.
I really don't feel so good. I'm not kidding. Maybe you should go find a phone and call Dr. Walker. Dan? Call somebody.
Robb Stark, Games of Thrones. One of many victims of the infamous Red Wedding, Robb, along with his mother Catelyn Stark, his pregnant wife Talisa Stark, and countless Stark bannermen are ruthlessly murdered in Season 3 of Games of Thrones. The massacre is orchestrated by Lord Walder Frey's revenge for Robb's failure to fulfill his marriage pact with House Frey. Eddard Stark, Games of Thrones. A faithful servant to the king, Ned Stark acted as king's hand under duress from his friend, King Robert Baratheon. However, upon Robert's death, he was falsely accused of attempting to steal the throne from the king's son and heir, Prince Joffrey. He was forced to make a false confession and beheaded in front of a crowd of subjects, as well as his daughter, who was betrothed to the prince. It was a totally new way of writing. Because no one is safe, the show is completely unpredictable, making it a must-watch, even if it does leave viewers constantly terrified that their favorite character will die.
But they've the soft hearts of women. So long as I'm your king, treason shall never go unpunished. Sir Ilyn, Bring me his head.
Paul Hennessy, 8 Simple Rules. While in production on the second season of 8 Simple Rules, actor John Ritter was taken to the hospital and ultimately died of an undiagnosed aortic dissection. Following his death, the show went on hiatus, returning 2 months later. Ritter's death was written into the series. His character Paul Hennessy collapses, though no exact cause of death is given.
Okay, readers, today we're having a little pop quiz. It's multiple choice. So sharpen your number 2 pencils and put on your thinking cap.
Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, MASH. The Season 3 finale of MASH shocked and angered viewers. Lieutenant Blake had been honorably discharged and was headed home when news comes in that his helicopter was shot down. The episode caused a great deal of controversy, and producers received thousands of letters from angry fans.